All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market show. Let's get ready to rock and roll on this beautiful Friday morning. So, just a few things. So, Norm will not be joining us today. The better half of this show, he has a very sore throat. He's recovering from that. He will be in the chat room, texting and probably trading his alerts out later on today, but he will not be joining us on the mic this morning. So, we'll wish him a nice recovery there. So let's get into it, guys. Let's see what we had. We had a great day yesterday. I mean, these stocks were all in serious play: LB, MU, Tesla, MRCI, and WB. So this was my watch list yesterday. I think a lot of you guys were watching the same thing. So let's see how this traded throughout the morning yesterday. We have a very light gappers list here, as you can see. Again, we'll see how the markets are today. It is a long weekend where the markets are closed on Monday. So that could be affecting that as well. It is Friday. Usually Fridays tend to be a little wacky. So me and Norm were talking earlier. We might see a slowdown in volume after the first hour. So just be careful with that. You know, things might not trade with a lot of volatility and volume. So be careful on your share size, and maybe you want to give wider stops on any strategies you're trading this morning, or just avoid getting into a situation that you see as doesn't look normal as usual. So let's get into it, guys. Top plays and highlights from yesterday. Right on here, let's look at LB. So LB was the one of the trades that was just amazing. I took this trade. I posted it on Twitter. My entries and exits. Had a nice pre-market action. As you can see here, has a nice little wave going. Right at the open, has this amazing drop, right? So you think it's going to be weak. I thought it was going to be weak as well. So my eyes were on it. Has some good volume. I like the candles, the way they're forming. It wasn't choppy on the 1 minute. I'm waiting for my 5-minute opening range breakdown here. I start seeing that it starts heading up, right? This is a huge change in direction right up to VWAP. Still not good for entry, either long or short, because you don't know what's happening here, right? Then in this situation, we get the next candle. It's going to be in this indecision candle. But the way this candle traded, it opened up, came down, then shot back up. And that was my signal on the 3-minute mark. This is the time to get in. This is the entry to go long. Here's a perfect risk to reward. So I jumped in there long. Almost tested my stop loss here, then it took off nicely. So you was able to get into this trade. You had a beautiful opening range breakup on the 5. Although this candle looks nasty here, the 1 minute gave you a good indication for an entry. So one thing I want to just add on to this, a lot of traders will say, well, yeah, Carlos, it's easy to look at it now and say, hey, that would have been a great trade, right? But put it in this context, right? For example, like a lot of professional sports players, what they do is they look at tape, right? They go back and look at the history of games and previous games from other teams, and they try to analyze what they can possibly do, right? They study their tape. This is the exact same thing we're doing here. We're analyzing what can possibly happen. Now, yes, this worked out nicely. So we're just preparing ourselves for whatever can happen. In some cases, not going to work, and we're going to get stopped out, right? So yeah, it might seem easy. Oh yeah, we're going through it now, and it looks easy, of course, because it's after the fact. But that's what professional athletes do as well. They go over stuff that already happened and then prepare for it. Can this do a fake out called audible and head right back down? Absolutely, but you got to be ready for that and have your stop. But the more you look at these charts over and over, the more you're going to get familiar with the price action and things that can possibly occur. So LB was great. Just kept going higher and higher. Does a consolidation here, and a lot of traders took this breakout here. It didn't want to sell off, so obviously the stock was strong after this move. Had a nice almost ABCD pattern here. Another consolidation. It pops up all the way to 25. Where Andrew also took a nice, beautiful trade in here, and then he left the little bit he left on. He put a limit order and got out on 24.79ish or something. So check out that recap from yesterday. Just an amazing trade. I know a lot of you guys took that trade. So LB definitely nice. Look at MU. MU is a beautiful short on the opening range breakdown. So right from the start in this 5 minute, you get this beautiful drop. Doesn't quite sell off and leave the VWAP. It gives this beautiful pullback here, and that's a signal to get in, right? Once you get that pullback, you get in for a short, and then it leaves the VWAP, and then it goes right down to these levels. So that was amazing. Then you get this kind of like it finds a perfect level here, right? It starts making higher highs, higher lows. William took this both short and long. Just an amazing trade. William also has a recap of showing how he took this trade and also how other members took this exact same trade. So make sure you take a look at that on the YouTube channel. Here's Tesla. Tesla sold off and then sold right back up again. Kind of similar to what MU did, just not as clean as MU was. And then it gives this beautiful pop here. Very difficult to catch this trade here, but if he was able to, that was great. I didn't watch this one closely as I was trading LB. But again, you can see here Tesla had a beautiful pre-market action, right? It just kind of popped up here, has some serious volume, then starts selling off right at the open, gives you a beautiful drop, finds a level which is kind of pretty close to what some of the levels in the pre-market were, and then you can see it takes off here right to the high of the day. MRCI, this is the one that did not trade well at all. Just very choppy, has some good volume right off the start. This first 5-minute candle gives you great volume. Then from there, it just becomes real choppy. Every other candle overlapping the other one. And what I mean by that is you got this red candle, the next one overlaps it. Then you have this green candle, the next one overlaps it as well. So just didn't trade clean. And then it's just very choppy right at the open. Finally settles in. Does give you small moves here, but then this just takes forever to get going. So again, just not a clean trade. WB was nice. This one was another one that also I had my eye on, because again, it has some serious volume. Gives you all this indecision happening here, but you can see cannot break the VWAP. If you look at these candles close, every time it tries to get above the VWAP, it sells back down, sells back down, sells back down. So I had my eye on this one as well, but LB just looked like the better move. So right in here, you get the first 5-minute candles of indecision, so you might want to wait. Then once it starts dropping here, you get this beautiful pullback for a 10-minute opening range breakup. Beautiful risk to reward. Here's your VWAP. You take this short for the crack of the low, and you can see here you get this nice little drop here all the way to 42.73, which is a level we had. So again, just a beautiful trade on WB here. These two actually did not trade, did not watch. They were just here just to be here, but again, they were not really on our watch list here. All right, guys, so let's see what we have here on Tesla. So Tesla is in play today. Finally a green open for Tesla. It's just been pretty crappy over the last couple of days. Volume right now 333,000 shares traded. Just gonna delete this on here and get some rows in here. Let's look at Tesla. So at the moment up 2.2. Volume is great, 333,000 shares traded. I think Tesla will be in play today. We'll get some levels for it, although it looks like the levels we had from yesterday might still be in play today. So might not need to add any more. Maybe one more here on this moving average. Actually, we're here now, might as well add it. 210.31 could be an area. Got a nice moving average coming in here, plus this one this day here kind of testing that area as support. Next we have is Snap. 110,000 shares traded at the moment, up 2.1. I don't like the way Snap trades. It's very choppy, guys, from experience. Had a nice little run here all the way from 10 all the way to about 10.80ish and 11, and that's a lot, right? It's only a couple of cents move here over several days, but that's the way Snap trades. The ATR is not huge on it. It doesn't move a lot. So let me just get the 1 minute. So daily chart actually looks interesting. It looks like it's kind of stuck within this range here. If it can get going, if it can get some momentum, it could probably test this 1160. But it's going to need some serious volume and momentum to get that going, just because the way this one trades right now is just very choppy. Just you can't see just the choppiness up and down with not really much volume, only 110,000 shares traded. So we'll keep it on here since we don't have much. We can't be too picky today, but again, if it doesn't get better, we'll just drop it. MAXR, it is down 3.3, 196,000 shares traded. Let's look at the daily. At the moment we have what do we have here? So we're down 3.3. Daily chart looks like it had a great day yesterday, kind of selling off today. So daily chart is interesting, but looking at the pre-market actions is not great, and you have a lot of the volume sitting in this one candle here. 83,000 shares. That's almost half of the volume there. Then the rest is just kind of dwindles down here. So not too exciting pre-market action, pretty flat. Also look at this here, just not a lot going on at the moment. Daily chart does look more interesting. The float on this one is 59. What do we have here? 59.2 million shares. So it's not a low flow. It is tradable. Just want to go back and see. Yeah, we got some clean levels on here as well that we can find on the daily chart. So it's got the daily going for it. It's got 196,000 shares traded, but it does not have this this pre-market action going for it right now. FL Foot Locker down 9.3. Ouch. I'm just gonna check Benzinga here, see what's going on with Foot Locker. Most likely earnings. All right, so they got earnings here going on. So it looks like it has some bad news. They missed sales, and also did they miss estimates as well? Yep, so they missed everything. So that's double whammy there for Foot Locker. Let's look at what we have in regards to price action. So price action right now, pretty flat at the moment. Does have great volume, 1 million shares traded so far, down 9.4. Daily chart looks amazing. I love this beautiful drop here. You have this area. Let me just remove some of these levels so it's less congestion. There it is. So beautiful daily chart, comes down right to this 53 area, pops up, then consolidates here over time, waits for this two red days, waits for this bad earnings report, and now you can see that it has a beautiful drop here. So overall daily chart looks amazing. Wow, price action really right at a level in this area here. We have another possible level all the way down here. We can get the high and low of this day here as well. So Foot Locker is in play. Love the volume. Pre-market action looks okay, but the daily chart does look amazing. All right, so let's go over our Nasdaq active, Nasdaq gainers, Nasdaq ETF QQQ right now. Let's see what the SPY is doing, by the way. See what the SPY is up to. So looks like we're kind of getting stuck within a range here over the last couple of days, right? We found a bottom. Whoops, that's too much. Here it is. So we kind of find the bottom over here around the 280. It's a little slightly above 280, and then we somewhat have a range in here around 288. So it's just kind of some nastiness going on within this area, just up and down, up and down. We had a nice drop. We opened up here, had a nice drop to this level, bounced back from it. And today we're pretty much opening flat, you know, so pretty much indecision of what is going to happen today. So we'll see. I cannot predict or I don't have any clue on what's going to be happening next. Anything's possible from here. It just seems just very choppy in this area. Are we going to hold here? I don't expect a lot of movement on a holiday Friday, but we'll see how things open up. Could be a very choppy open. But when Brian comes on later, he can give us more information. And he's great with these things based on his experience in trading. OLTK is one of those nasty stocks that trades horribly. This is one of those stocks that have been trading under $1. Look at this daily chart, just gapping up left and right and then selling down. Today we have it gapping up 22%. The volume is insane. 1 million shares traded so far. Pre-market action a little nasty in this area here. Actually here starting to get a little better, so it's starting to pop up. See if we can crack the high of the day. But this is one of those stocks you want to be very careful trading. It is a lower price stock. The flow is actually 72 million shares traded, but it does trade like a low flow, so you got to be extremely careful with this one. Again, I don't like this daily chart. Also, we talked about this before, so we just want to be extremely careful. We'll throw it down here. As again, it's one of those stocks that is in play. If you do decide to trade this, maybe you see a good fallen angel opportunity or any kind of strategy, just watch your share size. You know, be very careful with the number of shares you take, as it is trading at $2. Next we have Volatility Index, which probably should be very flat this morning, actually down a bit here. NVCN is a penny stock. We'll skip that one. Tesla, we have AMD. I'm going to watch AMD today. We'll throw AMD on here. Has the volume 341,000 shares traded so far. Kind of stuck within this range as we've seen over the last couple of weeks, really. Just kind of, first it was a higher range here, then it kind of opened up towards the bottom, lower range here. Just been kind of stuck with this 27, sometimes hitting 27.50 and 26. So just kind of bouncing around there. Pre-market action right now pretty flat. I'm going to watch it just as a possibility that it can get some volume and give us a good trading day. CYCC, we had this in the past before, but I think it was trading a lot higher than this, or maybe I'm mistaken this with a different stock. No, this was the one. Yeah, we traded this before in the past. Penny stock right now, not really tradable. 303,000 shares traded. It is up 15%, but again, you don't want to look at this nasty pre-market action. Also, you don't want to be involved in this. Heading down here, Nasdaq Etf Apple. Apple has a choppy pre-market action, usually not the case, but Apple usually has a nice clean pre-market action. This is choppy today, 183,000 shares traded and really opening up really flat. I think Apple's just basically going to trade with the market today, so I don't think there's nothing special going on at the moment on Apple. Down here we have ASLN. Nasty. We'll keep this out of the way. 172,000 shares traded. It's down. I don't even know what this daily chart just looks horrible. So if you want to see an example of a nasty daily chart, this is it right here. Look at these wicks. Look at these candles. Just no flow to it. Today we have basically just one block trade of 172 exactly. You can see it right on here. 172 at 320. So it's hitting the scanners here on the top list, but again, not really anything you want to be involved with. OTLK, we have HIBB, we were talking about this earlier in the chat room, chatting with the members. So this one doesn't have a clean pre-market action, but it does have an interesting daily chart, right? So if we look at the daily, it has a nice little bounce here. It's breaking out today. I just want to check what the news is on HIBB. What do we have? So they reported earnings this morning. They beat estimates and they beat sales as well. So they got some good positive news, good positive guidance as well this morning. So could be interesting. Right now, the pre-market action though is just brutal. No volume, not a great pre-market action. Daily chart looks interesting, but again, that's just about it. I'm gonna throw it down here as a possible. We'll check into it closer to 9:30. Just to see if anything good comes out of it. We do have some levels already on here, so this could be a good one that if it hits our turbo breakdown, we can probably tune into it and see what's happening. WKHS is making some noise this morning. What do we have? Volume 143,000 shares traded right now. Daily chart is horrible though. After it had this pop, it's just really this pop and then this sell off, and it's just kind of been just chopping around, not really doing anything fancy. So not too excited about that one. BIOC is one that had a great day last week here. Then it opened up and it just kind of sold off, and today's not really doing anything. Look at this pre-market action, it's horrible. 161,000 shares traded, but not really in a tradable fashion in regards to this pre-market action. So don't like what I'm seeing here. I'm gonna bypass that one. BSAT, horrible pre-market action, guys. Nothing going on, no volume up here, so don't be fooled by it being up 9.1. Next we have NVCR, same thing here, no volume, up 6.4, horrible pre-market action. UXIN follows the same criteria, so we'll get rid of that. OBSV, same, no volume, not a good pre-market action. MYND, nothing going on. And then the last one on this column, DVAX, 41,000 shares traded. Let's look at the daily. Daily looks all right, nothing fancy, but the volume is not there right now. It's got to get more volume to get going here. So it's up 4.9, had a nice little bounce here, so you can see kind of consolidating, beautiful bounce here, but not really much going on volume wise. All right, guys, good morning. I hope everyone's having a good Friday today. Let's see what you guys have on your end. Anything that looks interesting today. Again, today might be one of those days where it's really slow. Got to be really picky, because I think going into the holiday weekend, there's probably not a lot that's going to be moving today. Let's look at MU also. I'm probably going to watch MU. Some of the favorites, MU, SQ, JD. We'll watch those guys and see, if they provide any opportunity. So MU right now pretty flat as expected. Nasty daily chart on MU over the last couple of days. It's just very, very nasty. So right now pretty flat, but we'll keep an eye on MU. Let's look at Roku. Roku's a good one as well. Thank you, Devin. Let's see what we got here. Roku right now pretty flat, but a beautiful daily chart. What a nice daily chart here. Nice little pop, holds this level here around 80, and then just takes off, breaks a new high, right? This is all-time high, right? If I recall, on Roku, I believe it is. Yeah, all-time high. So again, made a new high yesterday here, and then today also making a new high in the pre-market. So Roku is good. I like Roku. Roku is a nice one to watch today. Well, what else we have? All right, AVP, take a look here. 41,000 shares traded. Not a great pre-market action right now. As you can see, right here's today's the close from yesterday. So after that, and here's a 524. So in here, just really not much going on. Let's look at the daily chart. Daily chart has an okay daily chart here. Had a nice few days, but look, notice how every time it gaps up, it just sells down, right? So again, just not pretty clean, and we don't have no shares for short neither. At least I do not. Is it buyout? Yeah, this one doesn't even look like a buyout, and if it is, it's pretty. It's pretty much doesn't have a lot of volume. CLDR. See what we got going on here. CLDR. Yeah, I got some nastiness on CLDR. Not really any good volume here. It is up quite a bit. Daily chart doesn't look too interesting here neither. We traded before in the past, looks like, but again, right now, it's just not really in play. But I get it, guys. Not a lot of good stuff out there, so I know we're fishing, right? Got to check out what else is happening. But Baba, somebody mentioned Baba. Let's take a look at that one. BABA. another one that, if you trade within this price range, this could be a good one to watch. Actually, it's kind of trying to break out here. Well, it has a little bit of volume, 191,000 shares traded. But at the moment, again, I think it's going to be trading just with the market. This is why I'm watching AMD, MU, and Roku most likely, right? If the market decides to do something today, I'm hoping that these that are within the price range that I like will do something. All right. So, what else we have? TD continuation play from earnings. Wow, had a nice day yesterday on TD here. Yeah, this could get going. The problem with these bank stocks is they don't move much. Their ATR are very small. Yesterday it traded well, but right now no volume. This could be one that we could look at into our scanners. But that's the issue I have with some of these stocks sometimes. They just don't trade very clean very well. Momo. Let's look at Momo. Yep, no volume right now on Momo. This could be, again, one just kind of like sitting within the same range. AMD, MU, Roku. We'll look at JD in a few minutes. If the market can get going, this could be one that you can watch. Right now, pretty flat as expected. So let's look at LB. LB could be a continuation play from yesterday. I mean, they had a huge day yesterday. I mean, we talked about it early this morning. Again, beautiful drop, and then it's just right at the open, it just bounces back and never looks back. Has this sell-off here, but what is it doing today? Yeah, so it's kind of opening basically at break even, but no volume today. So again, just want to watch for a possible continuation play here, where they want to sell off a bit and continue to head higher. No. We need stuff to start appearing, not disappearing. This is not good. What's going on here? So only Foot Locker left here. OTLK. Yeah, the issue with OTLK is a lower price stock. It's not a low float, but for me, I just don't like the way this stock trades, right? It doesn't trade very clean. So that's my issue with this one. It is on short selling restrictions. I do not have shares for short. Here's how I traded yesterday. It was a beautiful short yesterday if you was able to catch an entry here after this selling pressure. Look at that selling pressure right up here, right? This was your signal that it couldn't make a new high. Couldn't make a new high again. Once it goes below VWAP, that's your entry. That's your entry right there for a drop. But I do not have shares for short on this one. Today, pre-market action is looking okay. Not great. Has some serious volume. 1.2 million shares traded. But again, that volume, I'm not seeing how I would like to see a clean pre-market action with that type of volume. I'm not seeing that. So just going to stay away from that one. MAXR, what do we have here? This one here, yeah, it's got some momentum going here. 212,000 shares traded, is down 1%. Kind of pretty flat between here and here. It just kind of lost it. So let's see if it can pick up. It definitely needs more volume. We need to get this going up here. So right now, its volume is not great on it at all. Beyond the Meat, let's look at that. Beyond the Meat, pretty flat today. 1.5 up this morning. Daily chart looks amazing though. Has a really nice flow to it. A nice little pop, sell off, hits these moving averages, and it kind of slowly recuperating here. Could be setting up to hit this 88, 83 if it can get going. If it can get some value, that's a great daily chart here. So we'll see how that develops. Let's see. What do we have here? Norm. Yeah, no, you definitely picked the right day to be off, Norm. There's nothing going on here. What else we have, guys? Anything exciting you see out there? In a day like today, especially a Friday, this is where you want to, not force anything. We don't have to trade garbage, right? If the setups is not there, you do not have to trade. Take it easy. Start the weekend early or something, right? So on a day like today, if you have you might get a lot of type B setups, right? You might not get your type A setup. So on your type B setups, you just take less shares, right? Less shares, give it a wider stop because things could be choppy. Don't force something that's not there. It's very important. Knowing when not to trade as a trader we're in here every day, trying to look for opportunities is as important as taking a good trade, knowing when not to pull that trigger. Eric is always on our gappers list here on the Nasdaq Active, but it's just horrible. It really doesn't trade well. Look at this pre-market action right now. 123,000 shares traded, is up 3%, but just not really doing anything. And this is normally how Eric is. And if you want to get an idea how Eric trades, just look at what he did yesterday and go back to certain days. Look at this. This is just pure chop. We don't want to trade stocks that normally trades like this, right? This is where, again, you can be here waiting for a drop, and what's it going to move? 4 cents, right? You can wait an hour for 4 cents. It's just not worth your time, right? So just avoid trading stocks like this. What else? Let's see what the past stocks are doing. So CORN, pretty flat today. Been flat over the last couple of days. APHA, I think someone mentioned that in our YouTube chat here. Yep, pretty flat today as well. Yeah, things are not looking too great for the past stocks. Pretty flat at the moment. All right, guys, I'm gonna look for some levels on these. Let's get some levels on the ones we have now, and then we'll see if anything else pops up or anything else looks interesting. SPY, looking at my other chart that I have here, it's pretty flat for the moment. Not doing much. It's kind of slightly little less than 0.5% up. So it is green. It is opening up green, but just slightly. All right, so Tesla. Let's go over into Tesla. See what we have here. So we have some levels already from yesterday, which I think are going to be pretty good this morning. Just going to move this one all the way up to here, low of the pre-market, 197.99. We got this level we tested already in the pre-market, high 203, which is close to the high of 2 days ago. So we'll leave that just the way it is. We added this morning 210.31. We got a moving average coming into this area. We also have this day right around that, so that's good to have there. I don't expect crazy moves out of Tesla. If we can get to this 210, that'll be amazing. Then towards the bottom, previous day close, very strong support or resistance level you want to always have on your chart. You have the low from 2 days ago right in here, and then you have this 186.25, which is the low from. Actually, if I delete this, there should be a line. Yeah, there should be a line right there. So right here, the low from yesterday around 186. So that's what we have on Tesla right now. Pre-market action is pretty flat, not doing much, but it does have some good volume, 357. So let's see what Tesla does. Here is Snap. Snap still looking like garbage, just nasty. Not sure. Yeah, so I'm just not sure on this one. We might delete it, but just in case it surprises us, right? Let's be ready. Let's have our game plan. So high of the pre-market, it is sitting at 1145. Above that, 1160 is your high from 2 days ago, and then slightly above that, we have this one here, 1184 from this daily chart. A nice clean level over here. I'm going to mark that down as well, 1241. And then towards the bottom, low of the pre-market, right next to where the low of the previous day close is. And then below there, you have 1080-ish low from 2 days ago. So again, not too excited about Snap. So I am going to remove this one. I'll wait for that one to hit our scanners, right? If it hits a turbo breakdown, we can tune into and see what is going on there. MAXR, it's just not doing anything good for us right now. Pre-market action looks very crappy. Had a great day yesterday. Is down 2.1 today, so kind of giving a little bit back here. High of the pre-market sitting at 946. Low of the pre-market sitting at 835. Like that 835, also confirming some resistance here in this area. Above that 946, what do we have? Let's go back. Look at this 946 also being tested here, so that's good. I'm gonna put this one on here, this 1026, right? You have several days right in here testing that 1026, and then this one up here at 1105 or so. I don't think you'll get that high, right? Looks like it wants to kind of give some back today. Then towards the bottom, you have this one day in here. I'll tell you why I like this one here. You have this day using it as resistance and this one as support as well, the 786. And slight moving average, hopefully can get right to it. It looks like we have a moving average also coming in. But again, just looking at this pre-market action, guys, nothing really exciting going on here. So this one will probably get dropped today. Foot Locker is probably the one that has the best pre-market action this morning. Probably has the best daily chart this morning as well. This is one that is in place, so hopefully we can get something out of Foot Locker. It is shortable. We got tons of volume, down 9.8. Let's see if this one could bring it home for us today. So low of the pre-market, 46.99. Look at this 46.99 area right in here. That's nice. Just gonna zoom in here to find some levels. If we lose that, look at this 46.99. This is just, look at this, just all across several months here. This thing has tested this 46.99. So it's been a very strong support. If we break that, there's a good chance we can head lower to these levels here. We have one clearly right over here on this date, and then another one right over here around 44.60 and 45.35. So that would be nice if we can get that drop. Now, I like to have levels in between because I think sometimes, you know, after 46.96 to get to 45.32, I think that's a long way to go. So for me personally, this is not the cleanest level, but I'm going to mark down this area here just to have something that I can take some partial profits in. So I'm going to have 46.45. That's just for my reference. Again, not a level that I will put a lot of weight on, but if I can get there from 46.97, I'm going to definitely partial out if I'm sure in that position. So towards the top, let's get in here. So we have a price action clearly settling in right in this area. Let's get to see if we can find a good level in here. All right, right here we have one. Actually, this one's a little better. Right in here, I'll explain why right now. 48.93 is a good one. And here's what I like about 48.93. You have several days using it as resistance, drops back down to this area here, comes right back to that 48.93. Again, sells up, comes right back down to that 48.93. And then here we're just doing a little ping pong action between the price action now and that 48.93. So we'll keep that on there. So I like that as a possible area of support and resistance depending on how the price action goes. All right, so AMD, let's see, AMD is just nasty stuck between this choppiness here. Again, not much really happening at the moment, but I'm gonna watch this one just in case we get something going. MU, same thing here. I'm just watching this one in case we get something going. Just watching kind of the ones that I know is going to get the volume, but is it going to get clean volume? Are we going to get, you know, a nice opening range breakup or breakdown on these stocks today? That's what we're going to be watching for. Roku, same thing. Roku's not really doing much right now, but it is at the all-time high. This morning just made a new high, sitting at 91, and then low of the pre-market sitting at 90.40. Then towards the bottom, you got plenty nice clean levels. Previous day closed right next to the previous day high, right? So it closed nicely yesterday, and then below that you got the low from 2 days ago. So I don't think you need to add any more to Roku. It's not complicated here. But it's an interesting situation, right? So let's see if it can crack this 91 and head higher. OTLK, it's very active, 1.2 million shares traded this morning. We'll get some levels for it, but again, this is one stock that I'll probably watch it today, but I'm not going to trade it. It's not a low flow, but it's a riskier stock. I don't like the way it trades. It usually goes under $1 too, so you got to be careful with that. We have a level at 223. We have another one here, high of 2 days ago, and then we also have mark down this one here also 264 as well. We also have the high of the pre-market at 249. So that's what we have for OTLK. Again, not too excited about this pre-market action and this type of stock, so I'm not really too focused on it. All right, so HIBB, we have it here for a possible. Let's see if we can get going. It's trying to crack 100K, but not really doing much. We got some levels in here. I'm just going to remove these levels. Let's get some new clean ones because we have some more information here today, more recent information. So we got a clear level up here, 23.87. High of the pre-market right now is sitting at 22.20. So we'll mark that down. See what towards the bottom. Towards the bottom, nice peak over here. It's heading at 22.44. Then what else we have? Anything below here? This one could be a good area. Let's see if there's a lot of, no, I don't see a lot of testing here. This one is actually very cleaner. This 21.37, and that's where somewhat where the low of the day is, 21.40. So that's a clean level. You can see several days testing that as resistance here, support in this area and in this area. So let's see. Hopefully it can get going. It needs to get the volume, right? It's trying, but it's not really good pre-market action. So we have it down here as a possible. We have this one as our riskier stock, not a low flow, but it's a lower price, 237. So you want to be careful with the number of shares you take. SPLK, I see someone mentioning SPLK. Let's see what we got going on. All right, 137,000 shares traded. Daily chart is nice. I like when the daily does this. When you have, again, it's kind of within this range here, then you lose this level, right? So this is good. Lost this level here. Low of the pre-market sitting at 124.61 right in here. High of the pre-market at 127.35. What do we have towards the bottom? Towards the bottom, we got this nice little level in here at 123.67, and then this other one, perfect level in here at 119. So It's got some volume, but again, just like everything else, not a good clean pre-market action. This is not anything you want to be trading off the bat. You want to wait 5 minutes at the open, make sure this thing actually is not going to be trading this choppy. So yeah, this one is interesting. We'll keep it on here. SPLK. CYYC lighting up. Let's see, Dave. Oh, yeah. But it's a penny stock. Yeah, it's getting some action here. 1.4 million shares trade. Look, this is nice right here. But this is a penny stock. Again, nothing against penny stock. I think there's everything is tradable if you find stocks that you can trade with this criteria, right? If this is your niche, go for it, man. But this is definitely not our niche, really. We don't focus on it, but it's definitely got some serious volume here. And I will assume there's a good pre-market action for this type of stock, right? So, all right. What else? IOVA. We'll check a few more, then we'll try to finalize this list, which won't be hard to finalize today because I'm going to take off a lot of things from here. And I'm also going to keep an eye on the scanners today. So that's going to be important, to wait that 5-10 minutes, not force anything, take a lesser size, less shares. We don't want to force anything on B type setups. IOVA today not doing much. Again, has a daily chart here that's been kind of creeping higher and higher. Had an indecision day yesterday. Today's opening up pretty flat. This could be a good one to watch throughout the day and see how it does. But right now, not really one that I'm gonna put on my list. MDT. We'll try to go through this a little fast here. So MDT. No, I'm sorry. MDT. That's right. So MDT again, just no volume right now at the moment. We have BJ. Let's see, BJ's doing no volume, guys, on BJ. LB could be a good continuation play, one to also watch later in the mid-morning or look out for in your scanners, right? Had a great big day yesterday. Had it opened up, he had a nice sell-off and then just took off nicely all the way up here. So that one could be a nice one to watch today. Kind of like what WB did yesterday as well. WB also opened up, sold off, and then came right back up. So that was a nice play also. Could have a good continuation day today as well. Next, what do we have? Gabby, so what are the ranges of low float, mid, and high? Low float is usually anything under, so it depends. A lot of people consider anything under 30 to be, a little bit more riskier than higher, right? So I think the mid and large flows, and I don't have the exact number, I have it written down somewhere, but I'm really concerned with anything under like 15 million shares float. Anything under 10 you got to be really careful with. Sometimes the 18 million shares float could have a good ATR and it could be tradable, has some good volumes. But in some cases, well, look at this example, right? OTLK, this one has a 72 million shares flow. So it's not even a low flow, but I just don't like the price action the way this one trades, right? It's a lower price stock. So sometimes you can have the right flow and just everything else doesn't look great and the stock doesn't trade well. So you got to look into a lot of things on there. But usually I consider anything under 15 million shares, you want to be careful. I know other traders, anything under 30, they won't even touch, right? They'll stick between that 30 and, up to 500 million shares flow. That's usually what their range that they like to trade. Anything that's too huge, like, 1 billion or higher, those stocks are very large. They tend not to move too much, right? So that's the issue with that range. So mid flow stocks for me are the ones that move well that I like to watch. Devin, I'm not sure. They could have had a second offering this week on OTLK, but to be honest, I don't recall if that was the case. All right, guys, let's make this list a little smaller. Let's start with Tesla. So I'll watch Tesla today. It has some good volume right now. Pre-market action is pretty choppy, pretty flat. Let's look at the daily here. It's trying to put in a bounce. Again, the SPY, looking at the SPY, still pretty flat. Has not moved. Kind of hasn't done anything. So MAXR also pretty nasty, not really getting the volume. Probably gonna end up getting rid of this one, so we'll see. I don't have shares for short neither. So I'm just gonna get rid of this one. Doesn't have a good pre-market action. Foot Locker is the only one that seems this morning to be alive with some kind of pulse here. So it has some good volume, 1.4 million shares traded. The last couple of minutes has been very choppy, but it has a beautiful daily chart. Love this daily chart. Look at this nice drop here. So hopefully this thing can get going. This is on bad earnings, missed earnings, and they also missed sales. AMD is very, very nasty right now, but I'm going to watch AMD because I know they're going to get the volume. It's just a matter of fact, are they going to give us an opportunity for opening range breakup or breakdown, right? So I'll watch that one. Same thing with MU, not doing much. I'm watching it just because it's one of the stocks I like to watch. In a situation like today where there's not really a lot that's trading well. Here's Roku. Roku is actually also good. Probably Foot Locker and Roku probably going to be one of the ones to watch today. Not because of this pre-market action, because this is nasty. Volume is not great, but this daily chart is very nice. So again, we're hitting all-time highs here. It's got some good momentum over the last several days, kind of consolidated in this area, and then finally broke out and just breaking new highs. SPLK, daily chart looks decent. I like that it broke this level here and it started dropping. So today we're gapping down 2.1. Volume is so 141,000 shares traded. But again, here this pre-market action is just nasty. But again, everything is looking like this today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, this will be the 6th I watch, guys. When Andrew comes on, he's gonna go over his list as well. Let's look at JD. See what JD is up to. Same thing, flat, not much going on. So one more, Dave is giving us ADSK. Let's take a look. ADSK, yeah, it doesn't have the volume though, Dave, right now. It is down 6.7, which is nice. Let's look at the daily. So that's a nice little drop here, but just again, not a lot of volume. Roku is not shortable. No, Roku is not shortable, and I'll be cautious. Again, you don't want to have any bias, but this stock has been very strong over the last couple of days, so I am a little long bias on it, to be honest. I want to see a drop and then kind of a slingshot move, right? Drops down, so all people are going to want to be taking profits if they got into this area for a swing, especially hitting all-time highs. And then if you get this pop, that could be a good entry for a long. So we'll see how it opens up. But again, right now volume is not great. All right, and last one, SPLK. Yep, I'll keep this one on here. Again, just nothing exciting. I might drop this one off. And it's okay to watch less today, guys. It's one of those days where, again, the market is pretty flat. There's not a lot of stocks that are trading in play besides Foot Locker. Looks great. That's the one I'm going to have my main focus on. Foot Locker, Roku, in case it's going to break the high. And what's the other one? I think those were it. Yep, those two are my favorite ones this morning. The other ones, AMD, MU, Roku, are on here just in case we can get something going. HIBB, it needs to get interesting. It wants to. You can see that it wants to start to get going here. It is up 17.5. So that's quite a bit. It has a nice daily chart, right? We have this beautiful level here we can try to test. Just made a new high of the pre-market. So let's just adjust that real quick. Let's adjust this new high right over here, 2350-ish. Let's adjust that there. So let's see if we continue to get higher here and just get some volume. So I'll watch out for that. We got shares for short as well. So that could be something we can watch. Daddy Waddy. Yeah, no, the MU is one of those stocks. Again, it's one of those stocks that when it gets going, it can trade very well. I'll show you yesterday. Yesterday it traded nice. It's a beautiful open range breakdown here. That's textbook. It doesn't get better than that. But look at this pre-market action. It's just horrible, right? So again, it's just one of those stocks, doesn't give you much, not a lot in the pre-market action. But if it can pick a direction, it gives you a lot of good opportunities. Same thing with AMD. AMD was a beautiful open range breakdown yesterday. This beautiful indecision candle here. You could have taken it on the 5 or on the 10. Nice little drop here. So, but again, I agree with you. No, these stocks are not for everybody. I know people that watch BABA, they watch SQ. You have your favorites that you watch, especially on days like this. AMD and MU are definitely mine for sure. Apple we looked at earlier and it was pretty flat. Is it doing anything now? Yeah, it's pretty flat. I think we just gotta watch our scanners today on what can happen here. Good morning, Brian. So Brian is hopping in. He'll get going to see what also he has on his list. So okay. All right, guys. So this is what we have. So thank you guys for joining us on YouTube, guys. Have a great weekend. Trade safe today. Today's one of those days where you really want to, again, just wait that 5 minutes, wait that 10 minutes. If you're going to take a type B setup, definitely take lesser shares. Lesser shares allow you to give yourself a wider stop because it could be choppy today depending on how the market opens. And again, as I mentioned earlier, as traders, we come in here looking for opportunities, and I know it's very difficult to not trade when you're here looking for a possible opportunity. But today could be a day where you probably don't find one and just don't trade. Come back Monday. Actually, we're off Monday, so come back on Tuesday. So have a great weekend, guys. Brian is going to come on now in our chat room. He's going to go over his watch list, what he likes, and then Andrew will be on after that. Take care, folks.
Hey, good morning.